Hello, it's Erin from Waterwoman Knits, and I am sitting in my favorite sit spot that I sometimes come to knit. It's part of a land trust near me that a kind gentleman, bequeathed his property to be preserved by the trust, and so it's a beautiful place to come walk a bit. It has some ancient apple trees on the property that feed a lot of deer, I'm sure. And recently the land trust has been putting plant name signs, wooden signs that are gorgeous, which I took a few photos of to show you, along the small trail. And there will be a trail expansion, I understand, later by next year, which I'm really looking forward to. So I just thought, since I had promised myself I would do one video per month, and it is now the last day of August, that I would just, make an effort. So I've been making these Purl Soho bags. It's a free pattern on Purl Soho. And I just thought I would show you. I've got two of them complete, except for joining the handles. But I found this great cotton, 100% cotton wool yarn that has got some great color combinations. So this is the large size of the bag that I will be selling probably in spring. I think I would have enough to sell. And then this is the small size of the one that I completed, and I'll have a bigger one in this color. This is my favorite color because it just really reminds me of where I grew up in New Mexico. So this is the yarn I used is Cotton Sprout. It's a worsted weight yarn. And I'm debating whether to sell online on my Etsy shop or skip the postage, and especially because, I don't know, there's uncertainty around the postal system right now. So I'm just debating whether I probably will do some kind of a market, community market selling. And let's see. So my goal for selling these, I have decided, it just suddenly occurred to me that before my cancer diagnosis in 2021, I was on a path to get a certificate with the Association of Nature and Forest Therapy Guides. So ANFT is what its acronym. And I had paid my deposit. I was all set to go with a cohort. And then immediately I had to withdraw the deposit to go toward medical costs. So I'm now, after experimenting with a year of going to grad school, thinking, this will be a new path for me in public health, I dropped that, partly because of cost, because I'm now burdened with thousands of dollars of loans that my income barely touches. And so I am going to try to sell enough bags to go toward a deposit and cost of the 6-month program for the ANFT. And I really feel like that is closest to a sense of purpose as any I've ever had of being here on earth. I have this inner image of myself as a kid, and actually I have some black and white photos of it too, of when I was really little, of just like staring up at trees and just in complete awe. And you know how like career coaches and life coaches and that kind of thing, they urge you to think about when you were happiest or most fulfilled, and then go toward that because that has most meaning for you in life. And that's really it for me, is like the awe of the natural world. And so it has helped me regulate myself. I have not been, I've been spending so much screen time lately, because every time I have since I'm self-employed, every time I have an appointment, a doctor's appointment, which I've had a whole slew. Once you're like, I'm doing fine, I'm healthy, but once you've had any diagnosis like that, the amount of follow-up to try to prevent any further complications is just something I really didn't expect, even though my child went through the same thing. So I'm just like, every month it seems like I have some kind of doctor's appointment. And so I'm just, every time I have an appointment, I have to work extra hours that week. And so like yesterday I worked 12 hours, and I did that twice in the week. And I really don't know if many people can do what I do, which is transcribe human voice, and literally my hands are typing for 12 hours. I don't know. I'm somehow, my body handles it somehow, but it's really not healthy, and to do that many hours of it. So anyway, just all this to say that I've lived this contrast, which I'm sure a lot of people may experience without even being able to articulate it, now that so many jobs are in front of the screen, that you feel like how you feel in the natural world is really how you're meant to be as a human. And then when you're trying to pay your bills, it's the way that things are done right now. So anyway, that is my goal that I have set for myself, is to get reconnected with that sense of purpose and hope to guide others in a format that, what I love about the ANFT is that there are people doing all sorts of models of this around the world, where they've created their own programs based on the principles of ANFT, of forest walks. And but they have a kind of a curriculum or a structure to each walk. And the reason why, at first I thought, oh, well, what if the older I get, how can I possibly do this? But the point is that you don't need to be an athlete to go amble in the woods and feel your reconnection to the natural world. And so a lot of these, the whole idea is that you do slow walks and really allow yourself to find sit spots, for example, where you just tune in to what's around you. And I can tell the wind is picking up right now, so hopefully it won't obscure the audio too much. But yeah, I'll just be working toward that, to making as many bags as I can. And I'm also going to make a free pattern from, what is her name? She's a Scottish designer. The name is escaping me. Anyway, I will post it, but I've made several pairs of these fingerless gloves, and they're the kind of thing that anyone can use in any number of fibers that I can make them from. So I figure that I'll attempt to sell these two things, and when I posted just a picture of, I'm not on much social media, but when I posted just a picture of of one of the bags, I had people saying, "Take my money, please." So I know it will go. There will be people out there who will appreciate them. And being 100% cotton, it's like you can just throw them in the wash in cold water, and they'd be great for like a picnic or going out to the beach or whatever. And I am now working on let's see, I don't have them with me to show, obviously, since I'm just sitting in the woods, but I will on the next month. I am hoping both to interview my sister, potentially in the next month, if not October. And then I'm working on the Nordiska by Caitlin Hunter, which a few years back, a lot of people were making this pattern, and I have wanted to make it for years. And I just finally decided, even though I don't have quite the colors that I want or whatever, just use what I have. And it'll be interesting. Once I get down to the color work portion, I will show that. And then I'm also working on the Rebel cardigan, and I cannot remember the designer's name, so I will make a separate video where I share, show those pieces. But for now, I'll just flip the camera around and allow you to just absorb the lovely ocean breeze from here in this bay. And one thing that I discovered too, I'll mention that in case anyone else out there enjoys it, it's given me a lot of joy, is the Merlin bird app from the Cornell, what is it? University, the Cornell lab, or what is that called when you're the study of birds? Is it ornithology? I think so. Anyway, and there's this free app you can put on your phone, and that allows you to make recordings anywhere you are, and it will pick up birds as long as it knows your location. It will pick up birds in your area that match the sounds of on the recording. So one afternoon, I was just sitting out in front of my house, and it must have been like a really fortunate time of day. I know I noticed that there's like early morning cycle where the birds are out, and then a later around, I don't know, pre-dinner time or something where I also hear them a lot. So I just let it record, and it came up with 16 different birds. And since all my life I've transcribed audio, I thought, wow, this is, because I've always had difficulty identifying birds by sight. I don't know why, it just doesn't stick with me. And now I can hear them, and that allows me to identify them. So it's a really cool thing to just be aware of suddenly what's around you and just hear it in a different way and be able to identify the birds around you. And now, granted, I know not everybody lives in a rural area, and but you might be surprised even in an urban area to see what it picks up, because it disregards like car sounds, or it only picks up on whatever birds it's hearing. So it's really a cool thing, cool service, and I'm glad it's free. So I guess this is just short and sweet, and then I'll just tack on a few photos of just the nature around me. So I will hope to see you in September, if we're all here and the sun's still shining. And if you're my cousin in Canada, I am getting ready to mail a box of alpaca blend to you, because I discovered that I'm allergic to alpaca as I was working with it. And so over the years, I had some collected different little groups of alpaca blend yarns. And if everything goes okay to mail fiber to Canada, fingers crossed, you'll receive it soon. Okay, take care, everyone, and yeah, just go for a walk in the woods, outside, or even a yard, a park. I really recommend it to really. It just helps regulate your whole nervous system, to be a part of what we were meant to be a part of, which is nature. So, take care.